How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got something different. So today I'm going to be taking you along with me after completely redecorating my room and going from a collector slash hoarder to a minimalist. Now this has come to a shock to myself as well as other people that I know. As you guys know, I'm a massive Doctor Who fan and I gained quite the collection as shown in some of my previous videos. And the background that I had I really did like, and it was perfect for YouTube, but living in the room with the figures, it kind of didn't work for me. So what I've had done, I've ripped everything out of my bedroom, I've got some new things, and I've also got rid of a lot of things, and this room is now going to be a minimalist room, which is kind of a shock to me. But I want to do it because it needs to be done. So the Doctor Who collection is shrinking. I'm still going to have a little bit on display, but nowhere near as much. I will continue to do Doctor Who content as planned, but yeah, my background has been retired only after a few months. Probably wondering what has actually been done. So the first thing that I've done is I've repainted the walls because there were some black marks which were bugging me. I have also repainted the ceiling because it after being the same colour for a while, white tends to darken. So as you can see here, it's back to a new white. I've got a new lampshade which is grey now instead of going to the old lampshade I had. My wardrobe is being moved. It's currently over here, but I don't know where I'm going to put it yet. I've got a bigger bed now, so instead of having a single bed, I've now got a double. And yeah, I'm just going to try and move everything around. I'm going to try and figure out where my guitars are going to go, if I'm going to have them in here, and what I'm going to do with everything, because I've got to shrink a lot of my clothing. I've got to shrink a lot of my storage, and yeah, everything's basically going to go. So my plan really is literally to have a wardrobe, chest of drawers, my bed, bit of storage under there, one or two guitars, charging place for my laptop, phone, all that stuff, and a little bit of a Doctor Who display, but not a lot to be honest, because 22, virtually 23, I've decided to be a minimalist. I kind of want it gone. So what we're going to do, I'm going to take you along with that journey. And I hope it helps a few of you guys out there if you've got like either a collection which you do want to shrink, or you do have a bit of a hoarding problem. And it took a while for me to admit it, and it took a while for me to admit it, but I think I have had a bit of a problem with my Doctor Who collection. So looking back at that footage, that was about 3 weeks ago, I believe, 3 to 4 weeks. The whole room has completely changed. There is new carpets, painted walls, which I've touched on the video, new furniture, loss of furniture, new stickers as you can see over here, and lots of things have happened in this room. I didn't film any of the process unfortunately, because obviously I was doing the process myself, setting up a camera and everything when I'd actually packed the camera away nice and safely. It did kind of get to the point where I couldn't film without it being dangerous for the camera, potential damage. So I just cut out all the filming and did the process basically behind the scenes. When you are a hoarder or a collector and you want to become a minimalist, it is hard. There were plenty of times where I was doubting myself, where it genuinely did hurt getting rid of some things or boxing things up. And with things which have gone on in my life as well, I just got to the point where I didn't really want to do it, but I had to force myself through. And here we are, they'll say 3 weeks later, and the room has done a complete 180 and it looks completely different. So before, I'm standing where my bed was and my tripod would be, and the camera is actually where I would film. there is no background there anymore, and I will give you a quick show. And I think either this here or the camera angle I will use next week will be my main setup. So let's talk you through what I have done. So the first thing I did was box up all of my figures. Now in this box there is all my action figures apart from Daleks, which were on the display cabinet and dotted around a bit from series 1 up until I believe to be series 10, because my series 11 action figures and 12 action figures are up here. Actually no, I put away a Jodie figure as well. So yeah, most of my collection now is in boxes like this. Next week I will talk to you about my new series Daleks, which is currently in another storage box, and that will be an interesting insight. I've had this sticker here put up on the wall. It is just a sticker. It's meant to be a 3D. I'll give you a closer look. It's meant to just look like the TARDIS is crashing through the wall, and that is basically the only real Doctor Who thing I've got, other than this small collection of Doctor Who figures here, which is from series 11 and 12, including my custom master figure, and 2 figures literally right behind you. So this is the actual wall with the sticker on. It looks a lot better on camera than it does in person, I believe, but it does look like the TARDIS is crashing through and the vortex behind it, and I do actually like the way it looks now on camera, and I think I'm going to use it more in my setup. So talking about the figures I've got on display, I've got the Fugitive of the Judoon part there, the TARDIS, Jodie, Graham, Ryan and Yaz, the Master, and the Recon Dalek, and that is really it for Doctor Who figures up there. Now over here I've got my Brian New custom and 3D greens printed Tonal Victorious Dalek, and that is actually it for my Doctor Who in this room. Yeah, so that's mainly it. It has been a big shock to me getting rid of my full display, getting rid of all my TARDIS boxes which were up the wall, and my 11 Doctors set. They're all in storage now safely, and I've only gone down to 1 guitar compared to the little collection I had before. Now I have still got the other guitars, but I'm only using 1 guitar now. It looks like I'm going to be taking music a bit more seriously now compared to the Doctor Who stuff, so that will end up bleeding into the channel, but I've got an aim to do 6 months Doctor Who content before any of that happens, or that might be the last video of the 6 months, something like that. But I do find it interesting and kind of heartbreaking at the same time how my room went from lots of Doctor Who plastered over the wall, which you are currently on, and it was full of Doctor Who, and now it's just a blank wall. Now this room is nowhere near finished. I'm going to get 1 more thing put on the wall over here. The reason I've done it, the collection, it was getting dusty too quickly. Living in a room which was like the studio, I literally had about that much room to move from the collection wall to my bed, to move side by side up and down, and my wardrobe was over there, and I had to like move to as close to the wall as possible, open the door, and then I couldn't get out that way, so I had to move in to open the other door to then get my clothes out, to then shut one door, move back, shut the other and move up, and it was just so annoying. Now I can just literally pull the doors open and I've not got to worry about the space I've got, and I've got a bigger bed, I've got a lot more things in here, and it's much more practical for me. Did it hurt losing my collection? Yes. Did it hurt packing it up? Yes. Did it hurt selling some of my items, which I'm still doing? Yes. But did it make my life easier? In the 3 weeks that my room has been like this, I have found my life to be a lot easier, with not having to worry about the space which I've got, not having to basically polish everything every day. Like, I do still polish every other day, but not every day. Not having to worry about, will it look okay on set, or if I knock something slightly, will it worry? Because it doesn't need to be on camera anymore. And I am kind of happy about that, but at the same time disappointed. If you'd like to do this, feel free. I took the inspiration from Peter McKinnon, and I have been dropping hints from his videos into my videos, like with Brad. It was the same title cards. and with things later on, I've been talking briefly about shrinking my collection, and that is what I've been doing. It's not really a good video to show you, it's more like a tour of what's happened, or just a drastic change, but it's just me explaining that I have decided to basically shrink my collection down completely, and it has worked. I mean, now I've got my music set up, which is basically this input here into my computer, my microphone there, my guitar and my headphones and wires there. It just seems to work better for me. And yes, Doctor Who is still a big part of my life. Yes, I am still going to buy Doctor Who items, and yes, I am probably going to keep them on display like I have up here or down here, but I'm not going to have the massive display which I had last time, unfortunately. Now that is it for this week's video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next week for the Dalek collection video.